I have 4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any public comment? No public comment. Okay. Engineer update. JD.
Good afternoon, J.D. King, Page County Engineer, and it's a fine day in Page County. The engineer update went out yesterday afternoon. We're blading, hauling rock with some trucks, 4 trucks. And we're working on the concrete toe wall on the pipe that's on 195th Street, northeast of town. Where I was yesterday. Moved down to 240th. Doing some work down there, or M Avenue. One of those is next. So we're still working on pipes. The spray patcher guys were over on the west side of the county. They're on Sleepy Hollow south of Shan. We have one more, and I'll talk more about mowers later on, toward the end of the update. We're still waiting on to get the truck back from Housby, single axle. Did some services on pickups this week, and we're still waiting on the service guys to come in that installed the new fuel pumps. Got a leak somewhere. And our new sign truck is anticipated to be delivered in September, mid-September. This is the one that we bought 2 years ago and finally taken delivery. The timeliness is part of our challenge in these modern times. The Essex Bridge is open to traffic, has been for a week. We still have a few erosions, so I can get to go. Is there something else going on here, Corey? We're starting to do the closeout paperwork, doing other project development, and closing out other projects. Still working on the annual report, although I will refer to it today. The ICEA folks in Des Moines turned in a grant last Thursday. It was due to the feds yesterday, the 4th of August. That has the bridge on Wall Street from Page County as one of its proposed grant bridges. And then another grant funding opportunity, the Bridge Improvement Program, another discretionary grant. We turned in a prospective bridge to the ICEA grant committee today. It's due tomorrow. That's NO 15, which is out on Stanton Road and 190th. So it's kind of the sister. The same things going wrong with those bridges, the one on Wall Street at the 180th and this one on Stanton Road. They're not, the Stanton Road bridge is smaller than the one on Wall Street, but it's failing in the same method.
When you go down the hill and across, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Questions about questions about the update? What we've talked about so far?
I don't have any.
Did you end up going after what we talked about today?
I haven't driven by there yet, but I did talk to John Huff and Kelsey,
Okay,
and they're figuring out how they're gonna fix it.
okay.
If you could turn, the next item on the agenda is a map with the red line northeast of Clarinda, or north of Clarinda. It's a place where Windstream is gonna pull some fiber from Wall Street east to the old, county home or whatever facility that was associated with the county east there.
Willowdale?
Willowdale?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That was the
Willowdale.
name of it. What was it?
It's across this from
No,
the,
but what did it
was
serve? Was
just-
it the county farm or
No.
the county home?
no, it's just Willowdale.
Yeah, I don't, back in the day when it was open, I don't know who, if they had some people that worked at the mental health that lived there or something like that.
Yeah.
No,
It wasn't the county home though.
Oh,
County
no.
home's always been out.
west town.
Yeah.
It looked like some kind of institutional thing though.
What's that?
It's been a lot of things.
It's been empty and people in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they must be upgrading their internet by Windstream. Need approval for that, please?
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion, approve the Windstream fiber project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Now, if I could direct your attention back up to the maintenance part of the engineer update, I've got star beside the mowing gravel discussion. And this is not on the agenda. This is just some discussion and
I mentioned it last
for
week.
thought. Okay, very well.
So,
So we have not been, one of our three, we have three mowers. We have a mower, we have a side mower, we have a side mower that's interchangeable with a boom mower, and we have a tractor with a batwing that we mow the pavements. Because they usually have, or the pavements are the ones that have slopes that we can stay on with the batwing. So we're talking about the two side mowers. One is a Cat Challenger, it's bought in 2010. The other is a John Deere with a side mower. That was purchased in 2017. The equipment under discussion is the Cat Challenger. We burn a piston, dropped a piston, whatever it is, it's gonna take at least $35,000 to fix it, and it's not worth that. So it's been parked. We have not been mowing gravels this summer, maybe isolated here or there. You know, maybe the farmer's mowed in front of his acres, but the county road department has not been mowing gravels as we have in the past. Mowing gravels is popular. It's popular with the traveling public. It gives an opportunity, or at least a chance to see wildlife that are trying to cross the road with a death wish. They keeps weeds down so the snow might blow across instead of drifting. But it's hard on equipment because it's rough. The blade guys appreciate it when they're not dealing with all that vegetation up against the road. But right now we're not mowing gravels because we're trying to save our side mower for the seal coats and the pavements or the hard surface roads that don't have good slopes on it. We can mow with a batwing. That's just something that myself and the superintendents discussed, but this is really, and what the board thinks about that. Does the board Want us to not grow more gravels and get by without it like we used to many years back, or more recently when we've been mowing gravels? But if we do, if the board wants us to mow gravels, then we're gonna need another mower. And another mower tractor and mower is not currently in the budget. We could put it in the budget with your blessing, because it'd need a budget amendment. Do I have a number? No, okay. As I recall, our ending balance when we formulated FY 25's budget was around a little over 2 million. We're now in FY 26, we have a number for the carryover balance, and it's $2.5 million. So there would be money available for a mower tractor if the board would choose that option.
What was the price of a new mower tractor? Did we say
I
something like
don't-
235 or something last week?
I think it was 50.
Or 250?
No,
The mower itself, or the two mowers itself, is about 50, and I
150.
don't have a number. I don't have a number for
Okay.
the tractor yet, but 250 wouldn't be it should be close.
I think you said last week 150 to 200,000,
Okay, and that was just
I guess.
a guess.
Okay.
Okay.
I did inquire if there's any mowers out there to be had right now, and there's not. This is as soon as I can get a tractor is next spring. So
you can't get one for this.
I can't get one for now. We can start mowing this fall because we have. If people want us to mow the gravels, we can start again. But because we'll know that we have a new one coming. So this is just a work session or to
So there-
spark some thought.
So there's nothing out there. You have to wait that long.
That's what I asked. I said, why is it like this? But it is. It doesn't, I guess, that's kind of a rhetorical question because you can blame it on COVID or,
But you said
whatever.
if you got something, then you can start mowing again?
well, we'd mow with this,
Mow with this one that we
we'll
have?
mow the one we have.
So if it's good enough to mow
Right, well, we're kind of saving it
Don't have enough.
if we don't anticipate getting one soon.
So what's the feel?
Is this a tractor or a track machine or
This would be a farm tractor,
a farm tractor?
like similar to the mowers we have. Probably just, we wouldn't buy not necessarily would we buy a boom attachment to go along with this one like we did, like the Cat one has now. Because we've rented a tractor with a boom mower last winter for a couple months. And, don't spend $250,000 on it. And a few $1,000s a month.
So you're talking the Cat Challenger is the one that you have that's down.
Correct.
And
It's not worth repairing.
right, is there any attachment to it that will fit a new one?
They're wore out too.
There should be.
The mowers.
They're worn out. It's worn out. It's worn out too.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Well, just item for thought.
Okay.
It'd be good to get some
That's weird.
prices.
Yeah.
Right, where I'm assembling some prices.
Just, yeah, so we kind of know, and then,
Because I don't want to wait till next spring,
Right.
because the lead time on the machinery isn't getting better.
is there anything in the budget that you could put off and move this up to fit within your budget? No?
We've
Okay.
we've got money, but it's just a matter of what we want to spend it on. I would say just try to get some costs, not necessarily bids, but I guess it would be a bid if we're interested in doing it.
Well, and the other thing, I guess, is if it isn't something, we've always done, maybe we just started doing it here recently or the last 10, 15 years, then is it
Probably
something
10
that is
years.
actually needed? Do you need to mow the gravels? I don't know. Is it worth the money?
Right, that's why we're talking.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, JD. Okay, time for Jeff Curtis from Samuels and Brian. Schindler, is that how you say it? Schindler. Okay.
Good afternoon. Just kind of go over what's happening right now on site. On site this week, Northwest Steel finished setting the wall panels. So all the wall panels on the building are set. They started setting columns. They're going to set columns and beams today and tomorrow. Hopefully be ready for wall plank or roof plank by Thursday and Friday. They are working some longer hours to get their time in because of the heat coming. So I'm not sure how much time they'll have on site Friday. Signature Masonry is working on block walls around the kitchen area with the plumber and electrician following in with them putting in all their rough-ins. Also, the electrician will be working on some underground when he can. He's got some more help coming this week. So they're trying to get areas ready so we can start getting some floors poured here in the next couple of weeks. Or within a month or so. I'm not exactly sure where we're at with that. We got a couple of meetings on that yet, so we'll figure that out. But that's kind of where we're at on site right now.
So kind of to tail off what Brian said, so yeah, the plan will be we'll have what we call a pre-construction meeting with Stickler Concrete, going over the necessary processes, their subcontractor, because we do have areas where it's just a polished concrete, making sure that the original mix design that is spec'd right now has what's called fiber mesh in it. And when we go to polish that, you'll see the little hairs come up, and it's not aesthetically pleasing. And then we also want to make sure that the mix design is going to be what we need for the overall finish, which is spec'd. So we'll continue working out that process. Like Brian was saying, roof plank is figured to be done the end of next week. If everything holds true, I see we potentially have a little bit of rain, but nice thing about Northwest, we lost that last Wednesday because of rain, and they worked on Saturday. So they're making sure they get their hours in. They do have another project that is also a critical path for them, so they've been definitely working well. Overall, safety-wise, seen a lot of precast being set. These guys they're top-notch. They're doing a real nice job. Good communication with Brian, with the trades and everything, where they're going to be at, making sure we maintain the safe radiuses for everybody. So once the roof plank, we've already spoken with Blackhawk Roofing. They're carrying the roofing contract for the membrane that gets put on. The plan is they're going to start mobilizing the first portion of September. You'll start seeing the polyiso coming in for the roof system that goes down first, and then we come back in with the membrane that then is a fully adhered membrane at that point. With that, we have the automatic smoke vents that we're calling those. We will do what we'll call roughing those in so we can get the building watertight. The lead times on those are about 6 weeks. We're back in for a resubmittal because of a electric strike, which was spec'd in the technology that unfortunately they didn't catch. It got caught during the first initial review. So we'll get that expedited as quickly as we possibly can. Will not slow down the process. Our main area that we're going to concentrate on after the roof plank is done is getting the building watertight. That way, we all know fall's coming in, and on the skylights area, which there are 10 of them, I remember, We'll get those watertight also. That way the trades can be in there working. And then when fall comes and winter comes, we already have it budgeted for temporary heat and everything, so we can keep all the trades working during the winter. And let's face it, MEPs love to work in conditioned space during the winter. Then we'll continue on with the necessary processes. I know, Todd, you had brought up last time I was with you concerning the schedule. With what Northwest has done and with the other trades being able to get the rest of their underground done ahead of time than what was originally scheduled, the schedule is holding where we're still originally anticipating the end part of April, which is awesome to see. I know we were all getting a little bit nervous when it came to this FAA license, but grand scheme of things, it worked out. Brian and the team had a great Plan B put into position, so we're able to maintain that. Overall, budget-wise, everything's still trending accordingly. We haven't issued a couple of small change orders from additional rock that we needed because, let's face it, Iowa clays and rain don't mix too well. And when we have a 250-ton crane, we need to make sure we have a safe platform for them to work with. The fire suppression bid is due on the 19th. Bids are due at 2 o'clock. The original budget that we have, was in front of the board back in January, we had a budgetary number already put to our overall project value. So once that comes in, I know we said bids are due at 2, we open them at 3, and then we'll be back in front of you folks on the 26th with our recommendation as far as award. Currently, I know of, I do believe, 4 contractors that are interested in putting a bid to it. We are reaching out to them today and tomorrow to make sure they don't have any additional questions. If so, it's pretty straightforward with the fire suppression because, lack of better terms, it's a design build. They know what the parameters are for what's got to be covered in the areas with what type of system, and then they develop their system to match it and then get the state approval through the state fire marshal for that. So, any questions for us?
Is there any other items left to bid that we'll have
No.
to send bids out? And then this suppression is pretty much the last.
Correct.
Probably sealed bid that you, okay.
Correct. On the original bid and the rebid, we did not get any interest in it. And the conversations that I had with the other contractor, with the other potential trade partners, of course, everybody was hot and heavy after school projects. So now all the school projects are coming to an end, and they're looking to keep their staff ready on hand. So hopefully we get some good coverage with them.
It's amazing. It's amazing
fast.
to watch the precast walls go up and, yeah.
Yeah, for anybody, if you had an opportunity to go out and watch how they bring the panels in sideways on the flatbeds and then pick them up and articulate them, go stand them vertical, bring them right into position. They did an awesome job. And again, safety-wise, communication with the team out there. Brian, I don't think you had to get after them one time for any safety or anything. When I was there Saturday, again, their foreman / superintendent Jeff and his partner Tony, again, great communication with them. So really impressed.
It's just great to see it going up.
Yes, and then when we get the roof on that, unfortunately, when people drive by, they're going to think, well, what's going on? Well, now all the interior work's going on. So like Brian said, around the kitchen area, those walls are being put in. We've had double checks. We have some of these, what we call security walls, where every core has to have a piece of rebar. They're called maximum security. That way, where the, quotes, inmates or offenders are in, they're definitely reinforced so they can't potentially escape out. So have checks and balances in position with that. Venture Architects, their rep has been on site at least once a month. Justin, and then a matter of fact, the 19th, Corey Byer, who is the lead architect, will be on site during the OAC, the OAC next winter, 2 weeks. He'll be on site to go over everything, also make sure there's no issues. All the concrete breaks, all of those, of course, we have a third-party testing agency doing those to make sure that everything is going according to spec and design. And then the state, with the state inspector, they have access to that when they want to look at those also. Haven't had any issues with weld inspections, any issues with concrete breaks, what you call density checks for any of these subgrade soils work. That's all been checking out really nice.
It was interesting when you go from Clarinda, you don't really see it up there. But I went down south this morning and I came back this way and it's very visible, so it's cool.
Yes, like I said, they're doing an awesome job.
Yeah.
Any questions for us?
I think so.
Okay.
Nope.
Again, my phone's always on. I found out that I don't get emails up in Canada, so sorry if I didn't get back to you sooner.
You must have been fishing.
I was. Don't take me out muskie fishing.
Good for
I'm not
you.
good at it,
Thank you. Okay. Okay, we have John and Kelsey both on this evening. So I don't know who wants to
Good
talk.
afternoon.
Hi, John.
Alrighty, so some great progress is being made. It looks like by the end of next week, probably all the foundation work in both counties should be about completed. It doesn't look like by this weekend we're going to have the components in Page County yet, but probably it very likely could be before the next time I talk to you guys that we start offloading components in Page County. Could be Monday or Tuesday of next week. But I would feel pretty confident saying at some point next week we're going to get some of those components in. We do have the community event that I told you about, or I think Kelsey actually sent you some info on that. So I think that's about all the stuff that I've got for this week. We're just keeping it moving and excited to see all the progress being made. What do you guys got?
I have nothing.
I don't have anything.
As long as we, I know I talked to JD today, and so I think he's gonna work with Kelsey or you, and about the road issue, but.
Correct, yes. I talked to JD earlier today, actually, so
Yep, so,
we're getting it all squared away. I appreciate it.
yep, thank you.
Is that something somebody's in the wrong place?
Yeah, they were on the wrong road.
On the wrong road?
That was last week when they got stuck.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, on 220th.
Okay. That was last week, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay. I guess that's it, John.
Good deal. Well, maybe we'll see you Thursday. If not, then talk to you on Tuesday. See ya.
Sounds good, thank you. Okay. Next up is our Page County Libraries, and we have Carrie and Andrew.
Thank you so much for fitting us in. Andrew and I are here today to represent the Page County Libraries. Unfortunately, neither Essex nor Coyne could join us, but I do have little updates from both of them.
Okay.
And by the way, I am Carrie Falk with the Shenandoah Public Library. So we have lots of handouts because, you know, we're really close to teachers and we feel weird if we don't have handouts. So I'm going to pass out some stuff for you. The big sheet is what Sabrina sent me from the Essex Library, and she sends her regrets that she could not make it today. But she had a lot of information that I thought I would just share it with you, because if you look at the outline that she has, it is an incredible amount of stuff that they have planned for the 12 weeks of summer reading program. And this year's statewide theme was Level Up at your library. It's sort of a game theme for summer reading program, and so they did a whole bunch of games. And so I'm just going to share what Sabrina left with me about what they've done. So they chose to do the history of games in Essex, and in week one they started out in Egypt and they played Mancala, and that Mancala type of boards were found in the Sahara. They also played Stenet, which was mentioned in the book that they read for story time, and it's a table style copy of this game was found in King Tut's tomb. So the dice are sticks that are thrown. I'm not sure how that really works as dice, but they must have made it work somehow. They also then played the Royal Game of Ur, which is the oldest complete set of gaming equipment ever found, and the dice are shaped like triangles. Then they played Go, which is what it's called in Japan, or Wii in China from 2000 BC, and she reports that they had 15 kids in attendance at that program, and if you think about it, in Essex, that's pretty good. And they had all the little boys that hang out on the computers. They actually stopped playing on the computers and came and joined in with the games, which was really, really nice. And she said it lasted over 2.5 hours, and she was shocked when she looked at the clock and the kids were that engaged for that long. So it's been really cool to see, you know, how she's been engaging all the kids in their community. And she goes on to talk about, you know, the different weeks. They played backgammon, Viking chess, They went to Persia, played 3 in a row, which was tic-tac-toe, and then they hit Europe with pirates. They did crafts, made card houses and paper boats. They learned to play 12-man Morris and Snakes and Ladders. They also learned how to play cribbage, which I was very impressed because that's one where you have to do a lot of math in your head. So good multitasking there for the kids to also do some math while they're playing games. And of course, they loved checkers. They played solitaire and Chinese checkers. They played games from the U.S., Monopoly, which they seem to love, especially they liked beating their librarian. So it was a lot of fun for them. They thought marbles were interesting, had fun playing pickup sticks, and of course, Sorry was one of their favorites. So I think she's had just a really good time this summer building a relationship with those kids and getting them to play a lot of board games, which is nice when I feel like we see a lot of kids on their devices all the time. She wanted to remind us that they do have a lot of upcoming events. They're doing a back-to-school party, which is hosted by the Libraries Foundation. And then, of course, Labor Day is a big deal in Essex, so the library is going to have a quilt show, a book sale, and they are going to sell water, soda, and snacks in front of the library during the Labor Day event. So if you make it up to Essex for Labor Day, stop in and see what they've got going on at their library. And then I just got a quick thing from Coin. I know that they are replacing their paperback shelving, so they are doing some rearranging and shelving there. I know they've got a board or a puzzle out on their table all the time, and people come in and work on that puzzle. And then I believe last Friday they had a program put on by Life 5B where they did a tie-dye class. So, really neat to see the events and things that they are doing up there in Essex. And then I have all of the information from Shenandoah on that little half page. We did something just a little bit different this year. Every year we challenge the kids to fill out a bingo sheet and to get badges, and they can earn, I think, like 36 different badges, which are little pins that we make, so you can see by filling out their bingo sheets and doing different activities, and they can earn those, and they're very excited about that. And it isn't just kids that participate, we have adults participate too, so we've had whole families doing it together, which is a lot of fun and something to do. So we had 101 readers signed up. They earned almost 800 badges, and we had 39 of those readers reach level 2 or more. That was the thing I wanted to point out, is we have 5 different levels this year. Usually after they get like 5 badges, they can earn a free book, and after 10 badges, they can go to the pizza and pool party, which will be this Thursday night. So there should be 40 to 50 screaming children at the pool enjoying their pizza and jumping in the pool. But this year we decided to change it up a little bit and make it 6 levels, so they can, after 5 badges, they earn a free book. After 10, they get the pizza party invite, and after 15, they get another free book. Joy is really trying to get rid of books. And then after 20 badges, they get a free 3D print. Oh, they were so excited about that. So that was pretty cool. And then kind of to add to that, the badges for that were just a little bit bigger for the levels. So they got something larger for those. And I was going to actually give you some of the leftover badges from a couple of our programs, because we had a lot of really neat programs, and it was very nice to partner with the Tabor Public Library, or the Lake and Envisioning Center up in Tabor. They were doing some really cool programs with presenters at 10 in the morning on Wednesdays, and we do ours at 1 in the afternoon, and so it worked really well for them to do a program in Tabor and then come down to Shannon and do a program. And so we kind of got to split like mileage costs and things, which worked out really well for us. And then I also wanted to point out on the back of your paper, you can see that we had 620 people attend summer reading program events. And then you can see the pie chart with attendance at each one of those programs. So we had a lot of cool stuff and a lot of fun. So, and then I'm going to pass out the badges, and I'm also going to pass out our August calendar so you can see some of the upcoming events that we have. One of the things that I really want to point out, we're very excited on Monday the 18th at 5 o'clock, if anybody is around, we are doing a new teacher meet and greet for all of the new staff in the Shenandoah School District. We've invited the new staff to come do a tour of the library, and we kind of give them a chance to see what the library has to offer and the services that we provide for them at 4:30, and then at 5 o'clock we've opened it up to the public, so the public has the opportunity to meet the new school staff and introduce themselves, because we know there are a lot of people in the community. If you don't have children in the school district, you really don't get a chance to meet them before they get into the classroom, and then we never see them again because they're so busy with all their activities. And so this is just a chance for us as a community to say hello and welcome them to town. And so we've got a lot of other programs going on in August, and of course we're looking toward fall for all the other things that we want to do. So the front side has got the calendar, and then the back side has got more information on. And those are some of the buttons that we've got. So. Thanks. Did you guys have any questions about? I can answer anything on Shan. I'm a little fuzzy on Essex and Coin, so.
I'll just speak briefly about a few things going on in Clarinda. You guys have a little handout. We had 196 kids register for our summer library program. They read over 9,000 minutes, and we saw over 8,300 visits to the library. A few things that we have coming up at the library that I wanted to point out is in a couple weeks on Saturday, we have Music of the Holocaust. It is a performance, a lecture recital with Dr. Beard, I believe, from Omaha. She's going to come down and talk about music that was composed or written during the Holocaust, many by composers that were killed in the Holocaust, give a presentation, but then she'll also perform on her flute. So that's at 6:30, I think, a week from this Saturday. Another thing that I'm really excited for is you may have encountered Tammy. Tammy Schapherter is our community literacy coordinator for the library, and we are really kind of working very hard with organizations, especially the schools in our area, to really level up literacy in Clarinda. We want you to be walking through the park and you see just as many kids playing as you do sitting on the bench reading books. We really want people to really engage with literacy and recreational reading. So we hope to kind of help move the bar for all ages, but specifically we'll be focusing a lot on youth. A few things also I wanted to highlight on my little handout here is the photo is of our teen program. They did a Dementia Live simulation. Karen Brandt is our circulation librarian, and she is a dementia-friendly Clarinda coordinator. So we actually took our teens, and we now, with dementia-friendly Clarinda and Wabanzi in the library, we can now go out and do simulations. So you're actually experiencing what it's like to have dementia. And the teens got to do that, and they were really eye-opened by the experience. It was fun to watch them stumble with some of the things too, but also you're learning a lesson of what it is like for grandma or grandpa to go through that as well. I'll point out 2 new services. Mometrix e-library is actually available from all libraries in Page County and actually throughout the state of Iowa. It is a online test prep or tutoring program. So you can kind of go in there and say if you need to study for a civil service exam, you need to do your HiSAT, you need to do even personal training exams if you're going to take any type of exam or certification. You can not only access ebooks, they have interactive exams, and they have like flashcards for training. So that's all free for every library or every person if they use their library card within Clarinda, or within Iowa, excuse me. And the last one, I also handed out a little bookmark. This is one of the new apps that we're offering here in Clarinda called Novel Effect. It's a really neat database. It kind of ties into our community literacy initiative. What you can do is you download the Novel Effect app to your device, and then you're able to either read ebooks on that device, or you can go to the library and borrow the physical book. And what you'll do is as you're reading the book, when you say the frog jumped, boing, 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 it makes sound effects when you say keywords. So the microphone on your device is listening for that keyword, and then you kind of have an interactive story. I wasn't sure about it at first, but when I read it to my kids, they were much more engaged with me reading to them because Dad doesn't make funny voices like Mom does all the time, but at least the app will now make the noises for me. But then also, my kids were engaged with it. They wanted to read because they wanted to trigger the next sound. So you can test that out. That's novel effect. And like I said, thank you guys for having us, and always make sure to check out what's going on at your local public libraries. Thank you.
Thank you. I always say this, but I'm amazed at how much you guys do. Okay. Thank you for being here. Okay. Next, we need to talk about the farm lease.
I think we'll put it on hold for a little while, because we're gonna have to do
Some more work.
a little more work on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I know Jim did. Tony talked to you about adding more.
He did. Reviewing the last farm lease we did with construction out at the jail area, I don't feel comfortable with the legal description we have and the division of how many tillable acres and things there are. So Tony's done a lot of work trying to coordinate another survey of land as we currently anticipate that farmland being able to be rented out. So we need to get a new survey done and then take it to FSA for an evaluation. Not quite sure how quickly that'll happen, but I think Tony thinks the surveyor will be out next week to at least look at the area, and then hopefully we can expedite their survey.
Okay. Thank you.
If you look at the current survey and the way it's on Beacon, it's, the main lot runs east and west, but there's a little dog leg that hangs to the south, and that encompasses the grain bins and the buildings there. And originally our intent was to just go straight west on the driveway. We went further west initially back in, this survey was done in December of 23. At that time, we were still waiting on some soil compaction tests, so we didn't know how far west we would have to push it. So to be safe, we pushed that west boundary line a little further west. Now that we have the majority of the site work, the civil site work done, we're confident in amending that platted survey down to a smaller acreage. The guy from Snyder's that originally did it, they will be on site. They're hopefully on site yet this week, Thursday or Friday, be down. What they need to do is just set one additional pin and square that up. And then that western, I think it's gonna be about 11 acres, we can put back with the original plat of the homestead, of the farm. So he should be down this week to do it. What the turnaround, he couldn't give me an idea on the turnaround to give me the actual survey down here to get recorded. But I'll keep in contact with Jim and we'll get that updated when we can, so.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tony.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, so we'll hold that for a little bit longer. Okay, board communication.
I have nothing.
You have nothing, and you have
Nice slow week.
you have landfill coming up, and
Landfill Thursday.
I had too many things this morning, so I didn't get to go to interagency meeting. So, okay, nothing. All right. Discuss action meeting minutes from the 29th of July. Okay. I hear a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have anything else we need to discuss?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion approved, and we adjourned at 4:43.